All right, hello and welcome. I'm so excited to have you here with me today. I'm excited for what we're going to do in today's session. Today's going to be all about building your 2025 internet marketing plan and setting yourself up to accomplish your goals, whatever they may be, and knock your objectives out of the park. So here's what we're going to cover. This isn't going to be a super technical workshop. It's really going to be around setting clear goals and targets for the year. We want you to walk away from the session with you laser clear on your 2025 objectives. By the end of 2025, you want to be able to say, hey, this is how much revenue that we want to generate. This is how many jobs that we're going to need to get booked to make that a reality. This is how many leads we're going to need to get those booked jobs to generate as an organization on a monthly basis and an annual basis to make that a reality. In addition to that, we're going to realign your KPIs and the tracking that's going to be needed to achieve those outcomes. I think in a lot of cases, we will set goals in a vacuum. We'll say, okay, I want to do 5 million gross this year for my shop. And, hopefully it works. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does. But we don't take the time to figure out what our goals and objectives are. And in the words of Brian Tracy, you can't hit a target that you can't see. In other words, you can't reach a goal that you never set. The key performance indicators, or KPIs, are what you'll need to keep a pulse, to know that you're on track or off track, and to know whether you need to ratchet up or ratchet down your budget. The other thing that we're going to map out is the plan for accomplishment. So we'll be clear on the goals and the targets for the year. We'll also be clear on the KPIs and the tracking that we'll be watching because what we measure gets done, and what we track always improves. And then we're going to put pen to paper and we're going to map out the plan. So what will we need to do with the SEO, with the website, with the paid search front, maybe LSA ads if you're in Florida or California. Maybe you need to focus on retargeting to make that a reality. So we'll talk about your budget. We'll look at what your budget needs to be. How does that budget need to be allocated? How much should go to online versus offline? How much should go to SEO versus pay-per-click? We'll look at all the different channels. I'll talk about some of the important trends, some of the things that are changing on the internet space because it's constantly changing. You want to know about these changes to really maximize your profitability and your probability of accomplishing whatever goals and targets that you want to set. And my main objective, my true purpose for today's session is for you to be set up for massive success going into 2025 and beyond. Okay, so that's the agenda. That's what we're going to be covering. Now, let me introduce myself real quick. I'm the author of 2 books, The Ultimate SEO Guide for Automotive Service Businesses, How to Triple Your Sales in Record Time. That's my most recent book. And then my first book was Triple Your Sales and Grow Your Business, The Ultimate Internet Marketing Guide to Grow Your Business Online. Both are available on Amazon if you're interested. We are also the producers of Top Shop Podcast, where we interview leaders in the automotive repair space and also repair shop owners that have been in business 10 years or more. We have a specific reason for that. But if you've been in business 10 years or more, we'd love to hear from you. It's topshoppodcasts with an S.com. Thanks. We are also the issuer of the Golden Wrench Award, recognizing people who have contributed greatly to the automotive industry. If somebody you know has made significant contributions to this industry, I urge you to please go to goldenwrenchaward.com and nominate them to receive this prestigious award. A lot of times people work really hard in their careers, they're authors, they're executive directors or presidents of associations or trade groups, and they really would appreciate the acknowledgement of their contributions. And this is a great way for us to contribute back to the automotive community. I want to keep this a very interactive experience, so please turn off your cell phones, turn off Facebook, and give us your undivided attention for the next 30 to 45 minutes to get serious about getting better results for your shop. The focus time that you spend in this workshop can have a dramatic effect on your shop's future revenues if you make a concerted effort and apply what is in this workshop. None of what I'm about to provide you and offer you is a theory or a hypothesis. It's all based on real-world results. We've got a great workbook which makes it possible for you to easily track along with me and enter notes. So I want everyone to do is download the workbook. We'll toss it in the chat here, and that way you can follow along with me. All right, everybody got that workbook? Awesome. All right, so the first thing that we need to do is set clear targets. We need to be clear on our goals and outcomes in our business. In my mind, clear goals give you the ability to create your own momentum. Without goals, you're like a boat out at sea being taken wherever the current wants to take you or the winds want to take you. If we set a goal to generate an additional, let's say, $1 million in gross revenue this year, and you get there, you do, or if you don't, you don't, you just kind of, going with the flow. In your workbook on page 6, it's asking for a current snapshot. And without a starting point, it's hard to track along. So what I want you to do is get clear on some key metrics. How much is your average gross revenues? How much is your monthly revenues? How many jobs do you typically do per month? What's your average ticket value? What's your average lifetime customer value, if you know what that is? So how many techs do you have right now? How many leads do you need to hit your goal? We'll get into that in a few minutes. What's your average conversion rate on leads? And by the way, this is one of the most important numbers that you need to know. I'll go over number 9 in a few minutes, and when we do the spreadsheet that our CPA created for us. So just put in here your current snapshot. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to do this, and like I said, we're going to keep this interactive. All right, we need to know how much our average monthly revenue is right now. How many jobs are we running per month, and what's our average transaction value? If a couple of you guys could put that in the comments for me, what's your average ticket worth in your business right now, that'd be great. All right, I'm hearing 450 all the way up to, I'm seeing all the way up to 950. It depends on what you are. If you're an auto repair shop, that's pretty average actually. And then, auto body, I'm seeing, 3 to 6,000. So the higher your average ticket, the more you can spend on advertising, the more aggressive you can be. So it's great if you guys have a really nice, solid average tickets. Excellent. Okay, thanks for all that, for that input, guys. Okay, so we got the current snapshot. The next thing is, anytime you're looking at an annual plan, I think it's smart to pause for a minute and think about the long-term vision, the long-term direction within your organization, within your shop. To help you guys plot out the end of the year, I've got this worksheet. We're going to drop that in the chat so all of you can download it from the chat. And then please open it up. Tricia, could you download that in chat for us, please? Oh, thanks. Appreciate it very much. All right. This worksheet will help us get those goals and targets and calculate it in a relatively simple way. In the past, I did this with a worksheet, and it was a bit of a challenge because I had to write down all the stuff and do all the math myself. Now you can just plug in the numbers. And if you got the worksheet, give me one in the comments here real quick, and I can walk you through it. Okay, getting lots of ones there. All right, everybody got it? Great, all right. All right, the first thing I want you to do is to put in the goal for 2025, which is, how much revenue do you want to generate? And I've given an example of 2.5 million. And then let's put in your average service ticket value. I put in 750 for an example. So just put those two numbers in, and this will give us two important things. It'll break down what our monthly revenue targets need to be to hit that annual goal, and it'll also tell us how many booked jobs that we're going to need to hit that target. So this shouldn't be hard. We're just putting in, what our goal is for the year and what our average ticket is, which should provide our monthly revenue target and number of booked jobs target. So just put a yes in the comments if you've got those in there. It's really important that you're clear in your mind for the sake of your business growth to help it bring it to reality. It's also important to build your marketing plan based on an outcome. If you're clear on where you want to go, you can reverse engineer how many leads you need to make that happen. Once we figure out how many leads we need, how much money do we need to invest? And if that's how much we need to invest, how do we spend it? And where do we generate those leads and book jobs? The last question is, what's your average conversion rate from lead to booked job? If you think about the people that call in, submit web forms, or start chats on your website, what percentage of those convert to a booked job? If you have great CSRs and a great follow-up process in place, it could be in the 70 to 80% range. If you don't, maybe it's down like 20 to 30% range. That's actually the average, industry average. Do any of you guys know what your average conversion rate is? Could you put that in the chat where you're at, what you think your average conversion rate is? Okay, so I got I got a 46, I got a 32, that's 31.5, okay. All right, great. If you get a higher transaction value and you get a higher conversion rate from leads to booked jobs, all of the metrics look so much better. So I'm just going to use this as an example. 2.5 million in gross revenues. Average ticket is 750, which means we need 278 jobs per month. Let's say you've got an average conversion rate of above average. You're in the 60% range. That would mean that you would need 463 leads per month to hit your goal. Because, the clearer you are on how many leads you need to generate, the better, right? Whether you're doing your marketing yourself or you have a professional team that's doing it for you. The next thing I want you to look at is what's your average cost to generate a lead. This is a little bit harder for a lot of us to gauge because if you're all organic or if you're just pure word of mouth, maybe your average cost per lead is just a couple of bucks right now. If you're heavy on the paid side, you're doing a lot of branding, it could get into the $30 to $50 average cost per lead range. And so how many of you guys offhand know exactly what your average cost per lead is right now? Okay. What we're looking for here is your raw cost per lead. We're finding auto repairs in the neighborhood of 25 to 35, and that's blended, right? Your average cost per lead from paid search is going to be more than your average cost per lead from SEO or your average cost per lead from Google local service ads if you're in Florida or California, which is something you should be tapping into, by the way, if you're in those two states. Let's just put in $25, and if you're looking to go to 2.5 million, then you would need around 140,000 ad budget to hit that target. If you're at 25 per lead, you need 11,500 in average monthly spend to hit that 2.5 million at the end of the year. So these are just rough estimates that give you an idea of how much you would need to invest to achieve the targets that you set. And if you manage to lower your average cost per lead to say 20, then you need around 9,200 per month to hit that 2.5 million rate. So that average cost per lead is one of your most important numbers. You can play with these numbers. It's not an exact science, but it's better than just spending $5,000 a month and on leads and hoping something sticks. The clearer you are on how much you need to invest and how many leads you need to generate, the better plan that you can formulate for your shop. We have an idea of our target and how much we need to spend monthly to reach that target. The next thing I want you to do is click on the Budget Allocations tab to determine how you want to allocate your monthly budget to maximize your outcomes. So whatever numbers you put in as your annual target will be brought over. And now I'll ask you what your percentage of your total budget do you want to allocate for your marketing. A lot of shops don't know what to do here. You should split your monthly budget and allocate your funds strategically to maximize your outcomes. If you set your annual target, it'll ask you what your percentage of revenue that you want to allocate towards marketing. We found that 6% is a good conservative number to stay ahead of it in your business. But if you want to grow aggressively, you should allocate somewhere between 10 and 15%, which is a lot. Those are the shops that are opening up new shops every couple of months. If you're feeling conservative, you should invest around 3% back into your marketing. By the way, that is the industry average for shops that are maintaining their current digital presence. But if you want to be aggressive, allocate 10 to 12% of your annual budget. You should choose your own adventure here. Put 13% of your annual revenue into marketing if you want to be aggressive, or put 5% if you want to be more conservative. This will help you determine your annual marketing budget, which breaks down to $27,000 per month. If you allocate 13% of $2.5 million, you'll have $325,000 in annual budget for marketing. You want to think about how to allocate your budget for internet marketing. It's not advisable to put all your money towards online marketing. You should distribute some to offline marketing and to your current existing customer base. Depending on the size of your business, you can adjust the percentage allocated to online versus offline marketing. If your revenue is below $500,000 per year, you can allocate the lion's share, like now over 90% of your budget to online. For businesses between 1 and 5 million, it's advisable to allocate around 60% to online, 30% to offline. For businesses above 5 million, it's better to allocate more to offline marketing, including brand advertising, radio, and billboards. I suggest a 60-30-10 split is a safe allocation of funds, and it'll give you an idea of how much you can spend. For example, with $2.5 million in revenues, with 13%, you have a budget of $27,000. You can spend $195,000 on online marketing. You can invest $97,000 to offline marketing and invest $32,000 on repeated referrals in your current customer database. Marketing to your existing customer base is a low-cost, high-return marketing strategy, and it's crucial not to overlook it. It's a way we get a quick win with a lot of our clients that are not currently marketing to their current client base. We can usually boost their revenues significantly in the first few months just by tapping in properly to their current client base. We provided a breakdown of how to allocate the budget for online versus offline, as well as SEO versus pay-per-click advertising, local service ads and display advertising, and retargeting. It's crucial to spend more time massaging the budget and getting a realistic idea of how much you want to invest or need to invest to achieve your goals. When it comes to the whole, you'll need to spend more time massaging it to really dial it in. This resource will help you get a realistic idea of how much you need to invest and where to distribute your funds to meet your specific goals. If you want a fighting chance of accomplishing your outcome, working on these numbers is your starting point. If you need more help with this, we'd be glad to sit down with you and walk you through it and explain everything while answering any of your questions. Hopefully this is a helpful starting point for you. Now that we've mapped out the budget side of things, we can move on to the strategy. In order to meet these goals, we need leads. So we need to know, what we can spend and where we need to spend it. I'll spend a few minutes talking about the big picture of online marketing and the different things that you can do to maximize your growth and increase your leads and card count. I call this model our accelerated growth model. For accelerated growth, really there's 3 key things as it relates to your marketing and especially your online marketing. 3 key things we need to drive leads, right? That's first. We've got to drive more inquiries, more phone calls, more web submissions, and more live chats. Then we need to maximize conversion. I think a lot of us, we think about marketing like when we hand off things to a marketing agency and all we think about is leads. I want more leads. I want more leads. But the reality is the money is made in the conversion of those leads into book jobs. And it's really made in the conversion of those book jobs into the higher tickets, right? Only 2 ways to increase profits. More cars, more money per car. And third, we have to maximize results. And what I found is going into 2025, if you can dial in these 3 key things and invest your money wisely, you can really accelerate your growth. And so when it comes to driving leads, there's really 3 key things that I like to look at. I like to look at organic, which is like your SEO play. Showing up on Google Maps, showing up in the non-paid listings when someone looks for you. So paid search, which should be your Google ads, it would be your local service ads, Facebook ads. It's paying for traffic, okay? And then the third for driving leads is your database. And a lot of people don't think about this. They don't realize it, but you've got customers. You've got people that have inquired about your services in the past. And if your shop doesn't have a CRM, it's imperative that you start using one ASAP. So remarketing to your current customer database by sending emails, text messages, re-engaging with your customers, making offers, getting them to engage with your shop. This is a great way to drive leads and really move things forward quickly at a very, very low cost. Investment. On your spreadsheet, on the marketing calendar tab, there is a place where you can put in all of your offers for the entire year. You should think about this at the beginning of the year, like now in January, and plan it out for the whole year. And then send one of these offers out each and every month to your current client base. Even if they don't like the offer, it doesn't matter. It helps you stay top of mind. So when they start hearing a noise coming from their brakes, you're the first person they think about because you're the person that's been constantly staying in touch with them by providing them some sort of offer. Make sense? Okay, great. Let's move on. All right, what I want you to do is rate yourself using the traffic system: red light, yellow light, green light. So over each one of these 3, just put red, an R, a Y, or a G. And so you could say, hey, green, I know I got this nailed. Yellow, I think I need to look at it. Red, this is something I really got to get on. So by the time we get done finishing this chart here, it's in your workbook, you're going to really have a solid idea of where you are and where what you need to focus on. So the next thing is conversion. And really conversion comes in 3 key areas. It's your website, because everybody that gets to your company, like whether they ran a Google search ad or they saw you a paid ad or they saw you on a billboard or a mailer or whatever, they're going to wind up on your website. That's a massive conversion point. We'll talk about some of the things that you can do to maximize the conversion rate on your website in just a minute. This is such an important topic. I do a whole workshop on just website conversion. How do you get your website to convert at a maximum level? Based on the latest research, of course. The other is your reputation, the amount of reviews you have, your average review star rating. The fact is that you might have a great website, you might do all kinds of great marketing things, but before a potential customer will do business with you, they're going to do a quick search on Google or Yelp, and they're going to take a look at your star rating. If you with a 4.8 star rating, people saying how great you are, that's important, right? Or you don't have any reviews, which is bad, or as bad as not having any current reviews. That's really important and will impact your conversion rates. Recent reviews are very, very important. One last thing here, and probably the biggest driver in 2025 is going to be automation. And I find that most most shop owners don't have an automation strategy in place to help them follow up with the leads that are coming through SEO, paid search, local service ads, whatever your marketing channels are. There's been a massive shift where your customers would prefer to engage with you on SMS. Like they prefer a text message than to call you. Your customers want to be followed up within 5 minutes or less. Otherwise, they're going to go to somebody else. And so, do you have automation in place? And do you have software that will quickly follow up with all leads quickly and efficiently, all missed calls, all filled out forms? You need that kind of engagement. You're busy running a shop, so there are software platforms that get this done for you. Our software program is called AutoShop AMP. You want to be sure every lead's getting a call or a text message within 3 minutes or less, or they're going to go someplace else. This is the number one way to maximize website conversion. We call it speed to lead. So, do you have an automatic nurture? Do you have automatic nurture sequences where you're automatically calling and touching base with the customers at least 5 to 7 times after they've inquired but haven't booked the service call yet? If you haven't, getting this in place is going to make an immediate difference in your revenues, okay? And then do you have automation following up with those customers after the job to ask for the review and to build your reputation, to remind them about your preventive maintenance plan or tell them, it's time to get the oil change or brakes checked? If you get that dialed in, you're going to convert more of your leads and your average cost per lead will be less, and you'll be able to generate more revenue with being able to spend less over time. But I'd like you guys to just real quick traffic light yourself on this once again. Again, I think the average that I'm seeing in the industry right now is that the automation is the big thing that's missing. That's what more shop owners that I confer with and do strategy session with tell me. Having a strategy to automate, to have two-way text messaging, to proactively manage that process. It's a key point in the automotive service industry. Remember, this research shows you're 21 times more likely to get the booked job if you respond to them within 5 minutes. So, okay, lots of question marks. Yeah, I'd like to find out more. Okay, all right, so we've got some great options and great solutions on that front. I'll get to it in a few minutes. All right, the next part that we want to think about is optimizing your results. So as you're generating leads from the channels that you're maximizing and you're optimizing your conversion rates, there's really 3 key things that you want to optimize for. The first is you want to know what your total spend is, right? Whatever the budget was for the year, let's say it was $25,000 or let's say it was $10,000 a month. How much did you actually invest? How much went to SEO? How much went to pay-per-click? How much went to LSA ads or Facebook ads? What was your total spend? And then what is your average cost per lead per right now? You need to know that. You need to be able to say, okay, here's how much I invested, here's how many leads we generated, and here's what my average cost per lead was, because you can optimize around that. You can say, okay, average cost right now is 17 per lead from SEO, 92 from pay-per-click. Let's focus on getting more SEO leads and optimizing pay-per-click leads to decrease cost. Once you know these numbers, you can work with them. Additionally, knowing your return on investment is crucial to exceed your goals. Being confident in monthly metrics such as investing, cost per lead, and actual ROI, how much came back from that investment, is essential for continued growth. Repair shop owners that know these metrics, that know without a question in their mind, month over month, how much was invested, what the average cost per lead was, and what their actual return on investment was, are the most confident and the most equipped to hit their goals and targets and continue to take things to the next level. It's helpful to rate yourself on these metrics and identify opportunities for improvement going into the new year. Maybe it's just getting clearer on your ROI. Having a tighter ROI reporting system to track spending and average cost per lead is also important. Knowing your optimization and focusing on your weakest area can help you improve your digital dominance method. The most critical aspect is knowing your ROI, which can be measured through online reporting, shop management programs, and your CRM. Analyzing revenue associated with your book leads. This is really important. You can improve what you can measure. So it's important to be familiar with the numbers. The goal is to work on your strategy and focus on the areas that need improvement to achieve digital dominance. The digital dominance method emphasizes leading with organic strategies, such as having a website that converts visitors into leads. Ensuring your website shows up organically when people search for auto repair in your city is crucial. Afterward, paid online strategies can be tapped into, such as Google Ads and local service ads. Then retargeting and database marketing are also essential for building relationships with customers and drawing them back to your website and hence back to your shop. Paying for premium sites like Google, Bing, Facebook, and Yelp is instrumental for growth. So go ahead and red light, yellow light, green light yourself on these 3 key metrics. This way you'll know what you need to focus on. Hopefully this was helpful and gave you a little primer on what you want to work on, what you want to think about strategy-wise. I hope this gave you time to process and identify the areas that need the most work. This is our digital dominance method. I always advocate leading with organic, as it's the way to go with the lowest cost per lead and the highest return on investment. We spend a lot of time on the front end thinking about the website, making sure that it's built to convert and is compelling enough to convert at least 35%, 40% or higher from visitor to lead. Is your website showing up organically when someone types in auto repair plus your city? Getting that dialed in, it's going to drive a lot of leads and traffic, and it'll be your lowest cost per lead also. From there, it's about tapping into your paid online strategies such as Google and Facebook ads and Bing ads if you're not running Bing. Maximizing Google pay-per-click is recommended. Leveraging retargeting is essential, drawing people back to the site after they visit it and then building a relationship with the customers. This is why Facebook marketing is so much better than mailers, because someone touches an ad but they don't do anything. Well, that's okay, we got you. So the next time that you run an ad, it's going to be in their feed. So, and you do that month after month, and over time, $1,000 you invested 2 years ago, someone sees your ad again, and this time 2 years later, they click on it and book in. If you're not retargeting to people that have already touched you in one way or another, whether it's website or Facebook ads or Google ads, you really need to get that put in place. From SEO and organic front, and also through paid ads, we know that people are visiting the site, are located in the service area and are interested in the services. However, not everyone converts. So we need a strategy to bring them back to the site and build a relationship with them. That's where retargeting and database marketing come in. By using these methods, your brand will be constantly visible to people who have shown interest in your services. Another low-hanging fruit opportunity is paying for premium sites like Yelp. I know Yelp is a cuss word to a lot of us, but these are sites where people often search when looking for auto repair shops. Just keep in mind that the leads can be pretty low quality. There is a pocket of customers that'll just go to Yelp every time they need a service. And see, we don't want to sleep on those third-party sites. You want the organic, and then you want to stack the PPC on top of that, and then you want to stack retargeting on top of that. And then if you've got extra budget, then you can be playing in those online directory sources and fronts like that. From there, I really think tapping into email marketing, SMS marketing, and what I call referral-based marketing, taking that one-time customer, turning them into a repeat buyer that writes a review for you, that uses you again and again, and refers you to the friends. The only way that you do that is by developing a relationship with them. You do that by showing a great first impression, providing great service, by rolling out the red carpet, and then also following up, having emails that thank them for their business, having follow-up emails that say, hey, I just wanted to check in. It's been a week since we did that blank job for you. How's everything working out? Hey, it's summer right around the corner. Let us know if you're interested in getting the tires changed. We'll give you a 10% discount if you come in before this date. And so really quick, let me tell you where this digital dominance method came from. My company, Advanced Digital Automotive Group, belongs to an exclusive 250-member mastermind group of agency owners in every niche possible. Over an 8 to 10 year period, these 250 owners have come up with this particular digital dominance method, and we follow it to a T. Like the other 249 owners do with their customers with huge success. It's very easy to see what we are excelling in and what we need to focus on. So the reason I made it a wheel is because if you take out any of these parts, the wheel just doesn't turn very well. So you can red light, yellow light, or green light yourself all the way around the circle from the 1 through the 8, and that's going to give you a really, really good idea of where you're currently at with your shop digitally. Many shops use a shotgun approach. Dialing this in is like going from a shotgun approach to a laser scope approach. So here's what we've covered so far. We've talked about goals and targets. We've looked at the big picture strategically, and we've looked at the digital dominance method. All the things that you want to put in place. I feel like you probably have most of what you need from a plan perspective to say, okay, here's what we need to do, and here's what we're going to do this year. Now, Let me go over the 12 critical elements to enhance conversion. So, like I said, I did an entire workshop on this, but I'm just going to go over these things real quick. The key things to consider from the perspective of conversion optimization are listed in your workbook. But first, it's to speak to your prospective customers. You know who they are, what their goals are, what their problems are, and why they should choose you. Next, you want to use authentic imagery, such as real pictures of the business, the parking area, customer waiting area, the owners, your techs, your goldfish, your dog. You really want to not use stock photography, okay? Very important. Video content has dominated the internet for several years now. A really great idea is to have a welcome video on your homepage. And if you can create videos for each one of your services, that's awesome. People are, visual creatures. We think and dream in images. A brief video explaining why someone should contact you first instead of the competition is also a great idea. Never cut down the competition. Just how you do things better, that's all. I'm constantly amazed at the amount of businesses that don't utilize leveraging social proof. Put your positive reviews in the top loading part of your website's homepage. That way, the moment that your website loads, you climb down subconsciously in the mind of the potential consumer and instill trust. And one of the best ways that they've proven to do that is to put those reviews front and center. Put that social proof front and center. Why in the header image? Mobile phones. Next is getting your website basics in order, like a large phone number in the upper right-hand corner of every single page of your website. That is proven to increase your website's conversion rates. And not only should it be large and bold, but it should have a call to action to it that says call now. You want to make sure that there's a web form that the customers can fill out and add any other credibility symbols like Better Business Bureau, AMRA, the Automotive Maintenance Repair Association, MAP, the Motorist Assurance Program, the Auto Service Association, MWACA, which is ACA, Automotive Care Alliance. NWACA, AMN, Automotive Management Network, AMI, these logos that people don't even know what they are, it doesn't matter. They see those on your website and subconsciously they think, wow, this shop is really connected with a lot of industry people. Ensure there's clear calls to action under every body of text that tell the customer what to do next. Use special offers and incentives or discounts. That can be of great help. It's really good to change up your incentives and offers consistently on your website. The majority of online users are on mobile devices. I'm sure you guys know that, so making sure that your website looks great on mobile devices and has easy navigation with a click-to-call function on your phone number is very, very important. Personally, God gave me 2 ears and 1 mouth for communication, not fingers. But unfortunately, there is a massive part of our population, and growing, it's at 22% right now, that their preferred method of communication is SMS. Massive research has been done on this and all across the board. All businesses can receive anywhere from a 10 to 20% increase in revenues by implementing live chat on their website, as long as their website's getting traffic. Chat doesn't do very well if your website doesn't get much traffic. Another statistic that's well documented is companies that start providing online bookings see an average of up to 22% increase in revenues. This is documented across all businesses, whether it's a boat rental company or any other kind of a business. There's just so many people that don't want to talk to anybody. They just want to book. And I can tell you right now, if you don't have online booking on your shop's website, you're missing revenues, period. We highly recommend and work with AutoOps. AutoOps is the only one that actually gets that booking engine in your Google Business Profile. So if you don't know what AutoOps is, look them up. In 2025, website speed is a crucial element that Google pays close attention to. Check if your website loads quickly on mobile devices. Forget desktop. Go to GT Metrics. That's GTmetrix.com. Take your website, throw it in there. It's free. It'll tell you what your load speed score is. If it's above 3 seconds, you have a problem. Last, engaging potential customers with SMS and phone via automation marketing is a game changer. You're busy running your shop, so let computer software follow up with your leads for you. In fact, the hottest topic in the digital marketing world for all businesses, including auto repair shops, is automated lead follow-up software. So we've run out of time, and I wasn't able to really go through everything in the workbook, but a lot of it is self-explanatory. But there is something I really want to point out. I did put the Ultimate Internet Marketing Checklist for auto repair shops in your workbook. This checklist is a game changer for shops that have taken the time to go down this list and check off everything that they know that they've got nailed. They know that they're really doing well, and then they focus on the things that they can't check off, or they get information about the things that they can't check off that they don't know what they are. This is a compilation of what some of the top shops in North America do on a consistent basis to grow and expand their companies. So please spend a few minutes going through this list and take it seriously. Don't just check it off and toss it aside. Keep it in front of you every day. What you can't check off is now your digital to-do list for your shop. So remember, nothing changes until you change it. If you got any questions or you'd like to have a specialist take a look at your website and digital presence in relation to your current market, I encourage you to schedule a discovery call with us. And it's just that, it's a discovery call. We don't take on every shop that contacts us. We know that we're a really good fit for some shops and some shops we're not. So we'd like to just have a chat with the owners first to see if we might be a good fit. Now, we have started a Facebook group. It's the Auto Repair Shop Owners Alliance, and I would really appreciate you joining. The whole purpose for this Facebook group is to connect fellow shop owners. You'll be able to ask questions, seek or give advice, and just in general have a great community where shop owners like you can share. Well, guys, again, this has been my pleasure. I appreciate you taking the time to invest in the knowledge that can help you grow your business. I'm excited to hear about your wins, excited to hear about what you guys want to accomplish in 2025 and beyond. If anybody's got questions, I'd love to hang out for a couple minutes and answer any questions that you guys may have. Thanks so much for your time. Have an amazing afternoon. We're here to serve. We're here to support, and excited to see everybody accomplish great things in this new year. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll talk to you later.